Come on now, the North Face. Oh my goodness, Vectiv. Eminus. I actually don't even know what that means. Is anybody, is that, it's not Latin, but Eminus. What are they going for with that? I was very excited pulling this shoe out of the box at the trailhead. It just, frankly, felt different than the Flight Vectiv, the Flight Endurus. Is that the name of the other North Face shoes I tested last year? Very, I'll just call it firm. Durometers in those shoes from 2021, not as much the case, at least under step. I haven't done the official durometer test. I'll do that for you in a minute. It is a neutral trail running shoe, and I'm just gonna say, I'm actually pretty excited, okay? I'll get you the full review score here in a minute. I just was shocked, and now listen, the weight, you're gonna be I was a little sad when I brought it back home and put it on the scale, but actually let's do it and there is, by the way, there's the stack height, there's the drop for you on the screen, so 9.8. And I had 9.9. It's a little actually heavy, so not a great score, but it didn't feel that heavy under step testing it on the trails here in Colorado. So sometimes you get a shoe that is a little on the heavier side, but it doesn't feel as heavy based upon the compound, the material that they're using inside of that midsole, basically the energy return that you're getting, okay? So, all right, we'll get to that midsole here in a minute. 30 and 24 for the stack and a 6 out of 10 for the weight score. For the upper, all right, we're looking at a breathable performance mesh, all right, with a protective what they're calling this protective tight weave, and a little bit of overlay action happening here in the vamp area, here in the toe box, and that toe cap, not epic, okay? So if you kick, I just actually pushed into it pretty easily right there. So if you're, in a really, really roots and rocks, and you're kind of prone to kicking and hitting that big toe, you might want to look at another option, because I was feeling the rocks a little bit out there going up some of the steps as I was testing this shoe out. And moving on to the tongue. Hello, thank you. Lockdown, pretty solid. Pretty much the perfect amount of, and oh yeah, before I forget, this shoe is made in Vietnam. I just saw the tag here, okay? So a lot of people are asking me, Seth, could you mention where the shoes are made? Okay, so this one is made in Vietnam, all right? So there you go. So it is a semi-gusseted tongue, lockdown, solid, okay? 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the lockdown. And you know what? I lean toward, small detail, I lean toward flat laces, preferring flat laces, and that versus round, because I feel like the flat, it just lays on top of the foot just a little bit better, coupled with the eyelet chain and the tongue. So the lockdown, very, very good. Now overall score did go down a little bit, kind of a standard score. I think, okay, let's do the heel counter. Yeah, that's probably it. I would prefer just a little more strength, specifically for longer trail days in that heel counter, just to make sure I'm not moving laterally inside the shoe for that heel, all right? So that was the issue there. Just a little more strength in that heel counter, but it's a give and take, because that would probably bump the weight up just a little bit. Okay, overall pleased with the upper, not blown away, but pleased. All right, moving on to that midsole. It is a compression molded EVA, pretty standard at this point in the in the trail running game. Okay, under step, here we go. Let me just do the thumb. Here we go. Okay, feeling good, throwing it back. Now here's my gut reaction to that durometer. I'm gonna guess, all right, I'm gonna say it's actually gonna be a little high, probably like 50, which, again, I prefer closer to the 42 to 44 range. All right, let's go. All right, no way. Hold on. Let me zero this out. There's no way it's that. Okay, I don't even know. All right, so that's saying 33. Maybe that's why I like the shoe so much. That's saying, okay, so that's on this side, we're getting like a 35. Maybe that's why. Okay, it doesn't feel quite that soft, but that is probably why I'm kind of excited about this shoe and this midsole, okay? It's not epic energy return, and I just want to mention there is a 4-foot plate inside, inside this 4-foot here, okay? So maybe, and then I guess I'll just mention it right now, onto that. So overall scores for the midsole, there they are on your screen. Onto that outsole. Look at that, a decoupled groove. I love it, North Face. Great work there on that outsole, okay? 8 out of 10, surface control rubber on the bottom, just pretty much perfect. I don't know if oh yeah, and it's a commuter. You could commute from the pavement and concrete to the trails, definitely, all right? So, again, I'm a little shocked by the midsole. Thank you, North Face. Thank you. You're moving in the right direction, all right? Again, compared to some shoes I've tested in the past from all of you. True to size on the fit, comfort, and I'll just say as far as the fit, I would almost even go, I think you're going to have plenty of room in there. Like, I didn't feel scrunched at all, all right? If you, maybe, and if you wear thin socks in the hot summer heat, who knows? You might have to consider, and this is a little side note, if you are running in hot temperatures and you just really like a thin sock, there's moments where you might need to go a half size down when you're for specifically summer running, whether it's road or trail. And in the winter, you might need to go, true to size and maybe even a half size up. Is that right? Yeah, half size up when the socks are really thick and you don't want your feet to be freezing though, so you got to wear thicker socks. So just a little tip of the day for you. Here we go. Moving on to the positives and drawbacks. Improved durometer from past North Face shoes is definitely my positive, and the weight is the drawback. If this shoe could get if we could lose it, I'll just say, if you could lose an ounce and get into like 8.9 range, you're really starting to talk about, I'm going to say, a pretty exciting shoe for not just long runs, and yes, that's how I would use the shoe. I'm talking like 10 to 20 mile long runs out on the trails is where I would put it in my shoe rotation. But then if you drop an ounce, now you're talking about a shoe that could make a crossover, a little tweener into the racing category for longer races, whether it's a trail marathon or even a trail 50K. That's how kind of excited I am about this midsole. Oh man, I can't get past that durometer number. That's what I'm kind of thinking in the back of my mind here. Man, maybe I need to go take this on, into some higher speeds, but probably not yet at that weight. Durability prediction, 4 to 500, 7 out of 10, okay? And I already did the how will I use this shoe moving forward. North Face, $129. $129. What are you pulling here? What are you pulling? You're pulling a 9 out of 10. That's what you're pulling. Thank you. I don't even know, all right? I don't know, everybody. I don't know the whole economics of the North Face. I know they're kind of part of a bigger conglomerate, and I don't even remember the name of the company that I believe is overseeing them now. At the end of the day, $129, thank you. You never really see $120, especially in 2022 with inflation. So you never really see $129 for a neutral trail running shoe that I think can accomplish a ton. So I don't even know. So it is linked down below in the description if you want to pick this shoe up. Man, thank you in the North Face. And maybe they'll have some new colorways later in the year, everybody, okay? Here we go. Other shoes to buy: the Saucony Exodus Ultra, New Balance More Trail V2, Tip 4, and of course the Speed Go 5. Had to throw it in there at the end. Probably the closest to this, I would probably go Exodus Ultra, which is why it's at the top of the list, would be the most similar category that I'd put it into. Shoe quick specs for the North Face Vectiv Eminus. All right, the North Face Vectiv Eminus. There you have it. All right, soak it in. Breathable performance mesh, CM EVA in that midsole, surface control, rubber, $129 price point, and a classic standard 7.5 out of 10. That's, compared to some scores I've given to the North Face in the past, that's actually pretty darn good for that company. I just don't, I don't think of the North Face, and I know they have some really talented trail running athletes in their lineup, so no, I'm not putting down anybody, but I just don't think of the North. I think of the North Face for mountaineering, kind of skiing a little bit, and I think they continue to try to get there in the trail running scene. I definitely don't think of them in the road running scene. But who knows? Maybe this is the start of something good, and I'm always open to let more competition in the running shoe space. So the North Face, keep me in the loop. I'm excited to keep testing Moving forward, comment of the day, question of the day, shout out to Wild Trail Photography. Here we go. This is interesting. This is kind of, again, back to that whole North Face. I just don't think of them in the trail scene. This person said, I'm a knucklehead and bought the full range of the Vectiv running shoes. Raced a 40-miler on the Endurus, and the long-term durability is questionable. The upper on the Endurus is wearing way too fast. The low-profile tread seems like it's going to wear super fast. The rubber is pretty tacky, though. I would agree with that. I was too nervous about body abuse wearing the carbon shoes over a long distance. So at the end of the day, I think they're making their way. They're making their way, the North Face, and they're definitely not in the upper tier of trail shoes, but I'll just say, I do believe they have the resources to put more money into the trail running shoe development. I know that for a fact. So I think they're going to be a player long term, but we'll just see if they can catch up to some other companies out there on the marketplace. Question of the day, I don't even know. Maybe it's almost lunchtime, so maybe I'm thinking about cooking something up. Do you like cooking? If so, what is your go-to summer recipe? Okay, and I guess I'll just say specifically for dinner. You know, if you want to throw lunch in, that's fine, but like a good summer dinner recipe. I know we got some good chefs and cooks and people that love spending time in the kitchen watching this vlog, so let us know your recipes down below in the comments. Onward and upward. Again, Endurus Eminus is linked Eminus is linked below in the description if you want to pick it up. But other North Face shoes, the Flight Vectiv, I'll link to an old North Face review right there. Onward and upward. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.